Okay, here it is, Monday, August 31st, and this is another Let There Be Talk, Handmade, episode number 545. The entire month of August has been dedicated to the handmade heroes out there, and I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for taking the ride. I know a lot of you guys come here for music or musicians, comedians, actors, but there's also that other side of this show that I absolutely love, and I know a lot of you do also because I get emails from you, and that is the handmade episodes, and that is why I am going to have all the handmade episodes on a separate podcast here pretty soon. As soon as I've got the artwork done, I will announce that and the name of the show, and you can find all these episodes under a separate podcast. In the meantime, here we are. And I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but you probably noticed over the years that I do love amazing architecture. And I didn't really know where this kind of passion and addiction came from until last week. I went back home to Yosemite. I was born in Yosemite and grew up there on and off my early childhood, and right up until 18 years old, I guess, I was in that park a lot. Christmas, Easter, summers, all that kind of stuff. Parents got divorced, still went up there nonstop. Grandmother lived there. And so I went back last week. I went with Brad Wilk from Rage Against the Machine. We went to go hike Half Dome. And as we pulled into the park, something hit me that I didn't realize until just last week. My love for architecture comes from being born and growing up in the Yosemite National Park. And I didn't realize it until I was there last week. And, I grew up in, I was born in Yosemite, like I said, parents divorced, in and out of the park most of my early childhood, but also growing up in the Bay Area, which is a massive architecture gold mine. A lot of Frank Lloyd Wright stuff out of there, a lot of Joseph Eichler stuff out there. But the ground zero, and I figured it out last week, was all the architecture in Yosemite Valley, right there in the park. If you look at the Ahwahnee Hotel, it's an architecture masterpiece. Architectural masterpiece. If you look at Yosemite Lodge, the check-in area, the swimming pool area, all the area, the buildings around there, all mid-century moderns. Everything in this park, it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. This is where my love of architecture started. I didn't even know what the hell it was as a kid, but I think, like we all know, everything we love is embedded in us as a young age. What we love, food, cars, whatever you're into, clothing, sports. It all comes from early on in your youth. It's just buried in you, and you don't understand where it comes from till later on, I think. Anyway. That's a long-winded way to get around to who my guests are today. I have two guests. First guest is Troy Kudlac of Cud Properties. And my second guest is Andy Canada. Andy Canada owns a construction company called Home and Construction Services. And both these guys, the reason I have them on the show, are kind of responsible for some of the coolest architecture going on out in the desert. Neither of them are architects. One is a developer. The other one is a contractor, construction master. Both of them fantastic guests. What happened was I was driving around out in the desert, seeing these incredible homes. I'm like, wow, who is building these? I must talk to him. And then I found out it was Troy and his company that was developing these pads. And then it was Andy that was building them. So I reached out. Both of them said they would do the show. And I was absolutely floored by how cool they were and how much knowledge they gave me. Look, you know, what I look at it is I'm basically work from home now. A lot of you do out there. I'm a podcaster. I was a comedian for 10 years, and I don't know when I will be a comedian again. Of course, I'm always a comedian in my blood, but right now I am a full-time podcaster. And you start to think, wait, the people that live at home or work at home can live anywhere. So then I started thinking, well, if you love a certain type of architecture, specifically in California, Eichlers, mid-centuries, Frank Lloyd Wrights, Lautners, all these incredible types of homes that are completely out of reach money-wise unless you're a gazillionaire. What if you searched for the architecture that you loved in a cheaper area, cheaper state, cheaper city somewhere? So I just started Googling mid-centuries for sale in such and such. And then just start looking like, oh, whoa, look at this. There's a shitload of these in Houston. Those are pretty good prices. Oh, there's a bunch here in Minnesota. Whatever. Then you start to think, okay, because of COVID, where would I not mind living? And then you start hearing about the mass exodus out of California, and it goes on and on and on. People keep asking, are you going to move? Are you going to move? Look, I was born and raised in California. It is in my blood. Now, it is absolutely almost impossible to live here as an artist. But, ooh, man, I don't know if I could go somewhere else. I think about it. Ooh, what about Sedona? What about Portland? What about Boulder, Colorado? But those are all expensive places too. So it is a stay awake at night type of feeling of thinking. But it did lead me out to the desert. I do feel a magic out in Joshua Tree, that area. I do feel something is brewing out there. I'm 54, so I don't know. Maybe it's going to be 20 years from now. But I do feel like this is an early time. Almost too late to get in. But get in now. Kind of a desert version of Malibu, where one day you're going to be out there and it's just going to be all these millionaires out there with their crazy mid-centuries and Eichlers and stuff. You're going to be like, whoa, I remember this used to be nothing out here. That's kind of exciting. I know the people of Yucca Valley and Morongo and Joshua Tree, they're not excited about that. I'm sure a lot of people moved out there to get some isolation and get away from the city. And now you've got these COVID runners that are all coming out there. I get it. But also I know that shit changes. You're talking to a guy who grew up in the Bay Area and watched that area completely disintegrate and be unobtainable money-wise. To buy a home there be $2 million. On and on. I'm sorry for the rambling. I just, sometimes I like to sit down and just think. And then it just kind of blows out here at the intro onto the podcast. But I really, really enjoy going out to the desert and looking at the architecture, especially Palm Springs, Palm Desert, and some of the old mid-centuries that are hidden gems in the Joshua Tree area. I really enjoy it, and it's been helping me during this COVID of getting the fuck out of the house and just taking a drive out there. And these guys really, really were incredible, and they're crazy busy. And it's a whole different world out there right now. Their phone is ringing off the hook. So for them to sit down with me and talk for a few hours was unreal. And I do want to tell you this right now. I can't say it enough. The house called On the Rocks, which is an Airbnb that Andy Canada built, is definitely one of the top homes I've ever seen. And definitely a dream house. It's one of those ones where you go, man, I wish I could own that. Okay, before we get into the episode, I'm going to tell you, it goes, first it is Troy for an hour or so, and then Andy comes on. So that's how this episode will work. I hope you guys dig it, and don't forget about the patreon.com/Dean Del Rey for 90 bonus episodes and all the Zoom Fest. I want to give a shout out to David Kirby. Thank you so much for your donation. It means the world. Roy Morgan, right on. Cameron Ron, Justin Paulson, brand new Patreoners. Also, before we get out of here, I know maybe your cage is a little rattled. Maybe you've had some anxiety still over this COVID. We're buckling in. We're wearing our masks. And you're going to get into some CBD. CBD Lion is what you need. It's going to chill you out, man. I've been doing CBD now for almost a year. And CBD Lion is absolutely the best. They got the topical lotions. They got the tinctures. They've got the tape. They've got tape, like you can just put it right under your injury. They have pet CBD, which I have personally seen help my buddy's dog. CBDlion.com. Use the code DEAN for 20% off, and you can use this code over and over and over. Use the code DEAN. CBDlion.com. Third party tested. None of that bullshit truck stop CBD. This is clean, pure CBD. Don't worry about piss tests. There's no THC. 100% clean machine, man. Get some CBD. Help you with your anxiety. Help you with some aches and pains. And helps me sleep at night. I take that 5,000 milligram and I am out. CBDlion.com. Use the code DEAN for 20% off. All right, let's sit down. Get into this. Here comes Troy, and then we'll have Andy on. And then visit their websites, their Instagrams, everything, and look at all the photos I've put up. And lose your mind on a house called The Invisible House. They have an Instagram. That's the first house I went to with Andy, The Invisible House. Candles lit. I love all you guys. Until next week. See ya. All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk. Fantastic guest. This will be another episode into my architecture addiction here. Introduce yourself, my man.
Hey, what's up? Troy Kudlac here with Cud Properties.
The reason I wanted to have you on the show was I had Andy Canada on, and I started digging into the properties that he built, and then it turned out that you were the one that was the developer and the seller of these properties. So give me a little history on your background. How long you've been doing real estate and developing?
Oh, man, it's kind of a lengthy story, but I'll give the short version. But been doing real estate since 2004. I didn't get into building until really remodeling and kind of flipping, quote unquote, in, that was like 2011. And so transitioned from that into building new because I saw the market turning and an opportunity, and I wanted to create something new and cool and unique and different. And so, as you know, the first houses we did were Eichlers,
Right.
And then after doing a few of those, I got drawn into the awesomeness of Joshua Tree and saw an opportunity up there and wanted to be a little more creative and do something a little more out there. And that's when I met Andy, and we did those houses. And Joshua Tree's been really good to us. We love it up there.
You did the ones that are the Airbnbs that I saw up there. What is your background on architecture? Did you grow up loving it, or did it just hit you later in life? You look pretty young. I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 38.
38, yeah. I'm 54. But I've always been into, I grew up in the Bay Area, and I was into amazing architecture. And at the time, I didn't even know, what a Frank Lloyd Wright was, or a Lautner, or any Eichler, or any of that. I just knew, like, these are the cool. What are these,
Yeah, I get it.
And at the time, those things sold for like $1. No one wanted them. And now it's completely changed. But when you were growing up, were you way into architecture?
I wasn't really. When I grew up, I was into baseball. I was into cars. I skateboarded a lot. I was a skateboarder, snowboarder. I just was real creative. I liked art. I've always made my own art, drawing, doodling, just being creative with colors and different things like that. I like to create and build things. And so I think it was a natural progression of that, especially once I moved out here to Palm Springs area, which was in 2004. And once my wife and I got married and she moved out here, we started exploring more into the neighborhoods of Palm Springs that we just didn't even really know existed, kind of like what you were saying.
Right.
And you start stumbling across these places and you're like, whoa, what is that thing? Like that doesn't look like the normal like track house I'm living in. What spurred that? And what is that? And so it got my creativity going. I just started digging into, I wanted to know every mid-century modern neighborhood in the Palm Springs area. And then I knew about them all and had researched them all, drove them all with my little baby in the back, sleeping or crying, at night. And then like, well, there has to be more of these other places too. So, that's when we stumbled upon Eichler's in Orange.
Are you familiar with this, which I never even knew about this, the Mar Vista tract?
The Mar Vista tract, I know that name. What?
It's insane. It's like a neighborhood of these kind of Eichler.
Is it in Fullerton?
It's in L.A. somewhere, I just found out about it a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to go look at that.
I think it's Fullerton. I think my friend Kevin just flipped a house in there. They're not Eichler's, but
they're like that.
They're one of the architects who designed for Eichler.
Exactly.
And he did a neighborhood that was an offshoot.
That's the place.
Where it wasn't Eichler, but it was some other developer guy.
Yeah.
I think it's Fullerton. I might be confusing it with another one, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
And then you got it in the valley out there, too, outside of Sherman Oaks there. There's that...
Granada Hills.
Granada Hills has the Eichlers.
Yep, I've been there. I know quite a few owners in there. And that's one thing that's cool about doing the Eichler projects. We've met so many people that they just want to talk because they've been and lived in an Eichler or lived in an Eichler at one point, and it's a cool way to make a lot of friends.
Explain to people what an Eichler is, because I would say maybe 80% of people, or 90, don't even know what we're talking about.
Right.
But that's why I love to talk about this stuff. Tell them what the idea of this guy had, Joseph. He was unbelievable. I think he sold tires or something, and then he's like, I'm going to start developing neighborhoods. He wasn't even an architect.
He was actually, he was in the dairy business.
Yeah.
It was eggs. And he...
Tires, eggs.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, pretty close, right? You can chew on them sometimes.
Yeah.
So he went into that, and then he was really good at processes, and, he broke down the process of his business and then decided, hey, I can do that with developing in houses. And so he, really awesome dude. I mean, not only did he build about 11,000 homes and also multifamily and even some commercial buildings across California, some in New York. He was very forward thinking in the way he offered housing to people. He was, an equal opportunity housing.
I love that about him. He wanted multicultural neighborhoods.
Yes.
He didn't want, white exclusive or, any of that. It was amazing, his thoughts.
Yeah, really cool. And nobody was doing that at the time. He would sell a house to somebody, and if you came back to him and was like, hey, I don't like who you moved in next to me, he'd be like, cool, then I'll buy it back from you. Like, get out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I'll sell it to somebody else then. Like, that's pretty cool. You know, I admire that a lot.
Did you look into, he had a few different architects do it, but was he the guy who said, I see the vision as this, they're all glass, they've got the open, that, you know, after the doorway, you're outdoors basically.
Right. Most of the Eichlers, I mean, a good part of them are revolved around a central atrium. And that's kind of what they've really been known for. I think those are the most published ones. They're out there for everyone to see. There's plenty of others that aren't like that. He has tons of different designs. His architects did. But he was pretty instrumental in what he wanted and how it was going to be done. And he got these architects to kind of come on board and make his ideas even better. And they did a great job working. I mean, I think he worked with maybe like 6 to 8 different architects.
Yeah. I read it was like 4 or 5, but it's...
Yeah, there's quite a lot. Like down here, the big ones were like A. Quincy Jones, Anshin Allen. In Southern California, those were the 2 big ones. And A. Quincy Jones was Jones and Emmons. Amato was another one up in the Bay Area that he used a lot. I don't think any of the houses down here were Amatos. Claude Oakland was another one he used. That most of the designs we've done are Claude Oakland.
You got an opportunity to talk to the Eichler family and get the okay to get some blueprints and start rebuilding these designs? Is that how that happened?
Not quite. I met a gal named Monique Lombardelli, super cool gal. We became friends, met her through Modernism Week. She had done all that already, and she didn't really want to build them. She just wanted to see them be built. So I worked out a license agreement with her.
How did she own the stuff from the Eichler family?
She did all that work.
Oh, she did the legwork.
So she really, she was ahead of me, and I mean, God bless her that I was able to connect with her and that, you know, she gave me the opportunity to be the first one to build them. She had met with the Eichler family. She had met with the architects' families. She had met with the archives that really they own the plans. And so she got approval from all these different entities. And now the plans are basically I funnel all my plans through the archives now. And Monique doesn't really do it. You know, she's not my middleman anymore.
Right.
She just asked me to go directly with them now. So, but without her, you know, my journey would have been way different. I would have had to do so much more legwork up front, and she, you know, had really helped me a lot up front.
That's incredible that they even somebody had all these in a library or an archive of blueprints. Did you get to see multiple different designs?
I still do. You know, they have hundreds of plans. I mean,
so there's hundreds of different styles.
There's so many iterations, many that weren't even built.
Wow.
So, but they're all a lot of times when an architect passes away, the family will donate all their archives to, you know, a school. Like UC Santa Barbara has a ton. A big architect down here that actually our office building's designed by him, Walter White. Not to be confused with Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But he's a big architect around here, and he donated all his plans and archives or his family did, to UC Santa Barbara.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How about with Frank Lloyd Wright and other people like that? Can you?
A lot are at USC.
Yeah. And what do?
Yeah.
You contact them and say, hey, I want to build something, and do you have to pay?
That's different. You know, I don't think all archives allow you to rebuild.
Wow.
But Berkeley, because of this relationship, allowed us to.
UC Berkeley?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Which is crazy because I would think out of all of them, they would be the most no, we won't let you. But somehow Monique and this relationship we all built together, it worked really well. And the new gal who's in there running the archives, you know, I talked to her and let her know what I'm doing, and she trusts me, and we work together all the time. So it works out pretty good.
Have you built what you consider the ultimate Eichler design? Were you looking through a bunch and was like, wow, this is the one?
At first, I had a small section to choose from because Monique had only chosen so many that she was working with. And then once Monique handed me to the archives, I've been able to really expand on more, and I'm really just digging into that right now.
Whoa.
And because of COVID, it's delayed a lot because they're not there. And so I'm working on quite a few new plans right now that I'm trying to, it's quite a process to get them up to code today.
Oh, yeah.
So basically they're like, here you go, Troy. Like, it's like 5 pieces of paper that were hand drawn.
Oh, the hand drawn.
Yeah. And they're copies of them, you know, but you have to take those, and then I've got to go to my guy and say, look, this is what I want to do up to today's code. How do I do it? You know,
what are the code issues since they're all glass?
There's a lot. So, you know, in California, you've got a code called Title 24, which is the energy code.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a certain ratio of how much water you use, how much insulation you have, how much glass you have, which way the glass orients. You know, it's a big equation.
That's all because of energy, because we were just out at the Invisible House, and Andy said after 16, they couldn't even build this house ever again.
No way. See, they had that permitted early enough. It's completely glass, right?
Yeah, like what's the problem with that? I'm trying to figure out, like, what is I mean, you're not using wood, so you're not cutting down trees. It seems like
Well, it's an issue of, you know, how much power you draw from the grid, AC and all that, and the more insulated or well efficient the house is, then you're going
to use less power.
Right. So I guess if he was like, hey, I don't care, I want a completely glass house, and I'm going to foot the bill for this, this, and this, and this, and maybe like that means he has to put on all his own solar and all, you know, power his own house.
Right.
But I don't even know if they'll still let you do it.
Wow.
Technically.
He said no, you know.
Yeah. So there's that. There's also like the atrium and different rooms and access. Like one of the rooms doesn't have an ingress egress, and every room by code now has to have a fire escape route.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean one door? Just one door?
At least one window or door that goes to the outside.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh.
So one of the front room in most Eichlers just has a long, skinny, fixed window.
Yeah.
So now they've made me make it a little bit bigger, and it has to open from the bottom, so you could crawl out the bottom.
Oh.
It's like, really? Like, who's gonna do that? You know? Like, really? Like, if there's a fire, you're gonna run out into the atrium and then leave. And they're like, nope. Well, the atrium could be on fire too. Like, okay, man, I'm arguing with a brick wall. All right, cool. So
what else? Anything else?
The hallway width.
Yeah.
In the Eichlers originally, they're like 36 to 38 inches.
Real narrow. Which until we built one, I didn't realize how narrow that really is. You know. Yeah. And so now we've had to stretch it out to like, I think code's 42, which still is kind of tight. So we tend to go 42 to like 46, depending on which plan it is. The main things like aesthetically are the roof is another big one. I mean, the roof back then was, you know, plywood and the tongue and groove, plywood, roof. That's it. Yeah.
So now, you know, the hard part is how do you get a thin looking roof and it be as efficient as you need?
Right. Because that's part of the look of the Eichler.
Yeah, exactly. With a big fat roof.
Yeah.
Eichler looks like crap.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like
this
guy trying to build an Eichler over here. It's all terrible.
It's got like a big top hat on it.
Yeah.
So we luckily, you know, my contractor at the time, Steve, and I worked really hard together to come up with some system that we could create, and we're still making it better. Yeah. Like on the one we have under construction right now, we've gotten it pretty narrow. Like it went from like 14 inches to 12. I think now we've got it down to like 8, which is
and it's
nice.
Code.
Yeah, it's code.
And did you figure out a trick on it or what?
Yeah, it's a combo of like rigid foam, the 2x4s or 2x6s, and we stack them upright. And then what we've started doing is stacking them upright, and then once you reach the edge of the building, we taper it down.
Oh.
So then it tapers from, you know, this big to that
so it
big.
Looks narrow.
So then it looks narrow, even though it's really not, but it actually works.
Wow.
And the reason we didn't do that at first was because it cost a little bit more. And now, you know, we've realized like, okay, it's worth it to pay a little more to do that. It makes it look better, blah, blah, you know. Just refining it over time. Same thing that Joseph Eichler did.
Yeah.
You know, he changed stuff constantly, all the time.
It's funny when you think about when he built them, banks wouldn't give loans on them because they were like, these are pieces of shit. Like they didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And people weren't buying them, which is really bizarre, you know?
And then it caught on, yeah.
Then it caught on,
Yeah.
yeah. It's funny, the ones in Marin County, I mean, you know, you got some of the highest real estate market in the United States, being the three areas where a lot of Icors are, of course, around the Stanford, you know, the techie world, and then Marin and all that, you know. So then they're like fortunes on top of already being super popular, you know.
It's insane.
It is.
Yeah. Which has caused a lot to be tore down, which is sad. But I know they're doing a pretty good job now of protecting them.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's a crime.
Yeah.
Now, we are in Palm Desert, and I'm here with Ian and Sarah Mello, my friends, and I drove up here. I was like, I never even heard of Palm Desert, actually this area. Of course, I've been to Indio a million times for Coachella. But man, I mean, up here, it's like kind of a Santa Barbara, Beverly Hills vibe, the street with the shops and everything. And
El Paseo.
yeah, and then you get into these neighborhoods, and there's mid-century, a ton in here.
Yeah.
What is the history of Palm Desert here?
So Palm Desert was founded in I want to say it was the late 40s or early 50s. And there was a couple big families, the Henderson family and the Firestone family.
Whoa,
like Firestone
actual
tires.
Firestone,
Yeah.
huh? Oh, wow.
And they helped start the whole city. And basically they were like bringing more rich and famous people to Palm Desert instead of Palm Springs. And it was like, hey, get out of Palm Springs. There's more space in Palm Desert. It's not as crowded, you know, which is funny because it wasn't crowded, you know, but comparatively, you know,
You're talking about Palm Springs, it's like, it is the epitome of like wide open spaces.
Right? Yeah. And they had an airport. They put an airport right in downtown. Like, hey, you can fly your own plane. The airport.
Oh, there's an airport here.
It's gone now.
Oh.
It's gone since. But then it just slowly grew from there. And then, you know, little developers came in and started tagging onto it. And this guy named Stanton Graham is the dude who built like 19 houses on this street, next street over. That's one of the houses we live in.
I got to see that.
Yeah, before you guys leave, you should check it out.
What's the styles on that street? Mid-century?
Yeah, super mid-century. He offered like 3 different styles though. It was like a mid-century, like traditional, and then there was like a Moroccan theme one.
Whoa.
And then there was what was the other one? It was almost like a Spanish-y kind of.
Yeah, kind of the Santa Fe.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I see
But they
those.
all have like a similar layout, similar floor plan, similar elevation. Some have like gabled roofs, some are flat. But they're pretty cool. They all
At one point, they were cheap, you said.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like just like 15 years ago or something, 300. Now they're like a mil
Oh,
five.
even less than that. It was 6 years ago. We got ours for like $370.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What made it
Nobody
start
knew
going
about
up?
them. Well, it's what's happened is Palm Springs has really become the spot. I mean,
Yeah.
you've probably seen some of the ads and like #1 vacation rental market in the world. You
I
know,
see that.
like
Airbnb masterpieces.
right, one over Hawaii even.
Yeah.
You know?
Over Hawaii.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow.
Like best grossing, you know, per dollar setup. So it's fueled a huge expansion there. That's really grown Palm Springs a lot for sure. And what it's done is a lot of people are like, dang, either their property value went up and they got out, and we're like, let's go down here. There's mid-century in Palm Desert that most people don't know about.
Wow.
It's that, and also people coming into Palm Springs and then realizing like, well, actually there's more in Palm Desert. I get more bang for my buck.
Yeah.
And all the amenities in Palm Desert are great.
I know, right?
So, the amenities out here are insane. And really, you can golf cart everywhere. You don't have to drive a car anywhere if you don't want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And is there anything left cheap out here, architecturally cool?
There is, yeah. I mean, especially relative to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
You know, Palm Springs is kind of edging up to like $700 to $1,000 a square foot for architectural nice product, and out here you can get stuff still for, you know, 400
400 like
a square foot.
So could you find a place for 300,000?
Yeah, you definitely can, especially
here?
if you're looking for a smaller, you know, like 2-bedroom, like we were talking about.
Yeah, like a
you
mid-century,
definitely can.
though?
Yep.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Have you taken a tour? I've looked at a lot of stuff in Palm Springs. The metal homes. Did you see?
The Wexler steel houses?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know them well.
Wow, man.
Rad, huh?
I mean, architecture to me is cooler than. Look, I'm a car freak. I'm a motorcycle freak. I'm a watch freak. But I often trip out on how people don't care what they live in. You know what I mean? Like, to me, when I see something that is the architecture is like so unique, I'm like, this is it. I think I never could afford anything, so I'm more into the car. Like, all right.
No, I feel you. I was the same way. And my first house that I bought with my wife was what we could afford, and we fixed it up and made it nice. And the more we realized what was out there and were open to the idea of architecture, it expanded my thinking, my creativity like crazy. So then when we bought this house and we moved in, just the way I felt every day being in the house, like being able to be connected to in and outside. Like, I think people just don't know what they're missing out on,
right,
and what architecture can really provide to your lifestyle, to your well-being, to how you feel every day, to just be joyful.
The track home ruined America, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's there for a purpose.
Of course, I get it.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much lack of creativity in it. As far as the design goes, as far as functionality goes, there's lots of creativity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, now that I've lived in a mid-century house now for 6 years, yes, there's problems with the old plumbing or whatever here and there. But other than that, you know, bringing something up and reimagining it and making it new again, it's so much better than living in a house with small windows that I can't see anything out of, and just, you know, feeling like I'm in a cave half the time. And yeah, it's way different.
Now you're doing an actual Eichler neighborhood almost. You did what, like 4 in a row?
We did 5 in a row, and then there's one off the back, and really it would have been 8, but I ended up dumping a couple of the lots at a certain time because the market was kind of being funky right around the Hillary-Trump election. And so we got rid of a couple lots, and then we've got one more going in Rancho Mirage just on its own. And
where's
then,
that at?
That's in the Tamarisk Country Club area.
I don't know that.
Really nice, nice area. There's a bunch of William Cody's a big architect over there. Palmer and Kreisel, who did all the Alexander houses around.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of houses right over there too. Big architectural neighborhood, really cool. There's a house, what do they call it? It's a Val Powelson house, is the guy who designed it. It's called, shoot, why can't I think of the name right now? You got to see this house. It would blow your mind.
Yeah.
It's like a flying V.
Whoa.
It literally goes.
Really? Like a flying V guitar?
Oh, yeah, it's sick.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to see it.
So those Eichlers you built, sold, right? All of them.
Yeah, and really now, I tend to say this to all my people that I am around a lot and do work with and stuff. I'm always early, you know? Yeah. I always get in and I have a good idea and I'm like, oh, this is it. And I'm always nervous that it's going to maybe not work out. And I'm always 2 years too early.
Because you sold them pretty cheap.
Yeah, they all sold for really good prices.
How much?
The first one we finished sold for 1.2, I think.
That's big money.
Which was good. We did well on that one, and the homeowners still live there. Nobody's resold one yet.
Wow.
So they've been there since 2016. Then we built 2 more, and that was right before the election, and nobody wanted them. We sold one for 1.1 and one for 1.12.
Still big money, though.
Big money, but now all of them, the next ones 2 went up. We sold them for 1.2, 1.3. But now those are all worth 1.7, 1.8.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that gives you a good barometer when you're building the new ones.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the one in Rancho Mirage is for sale for 1.5.
Yeah.
A little cheaper because it's not in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
But it's super cool. Just the creativity and funk you can put into an Eichler is so cool. We have these tiles in the bathroom with glass next to it, and it's all graffiti tiles. So it's different graffitis from across the world. And it's all random, and it's just so cool. You can't really do that in many houses, but in an Eichler you can.
Let's break down some of these different areas out here. Ian wanted to know, let's say you're coming out here, you want to move out here. A lot of people are getting the hell out because of COVID. and they're realizing, man, the desert's kind of cool, or, Big Bear or mountains or whatever they're into. But what are the breakdowns between, let's say, Joshua Tree, Yucca Valley, Morongo Valley, Palm Springs, to Palm Desert, and then Indio? What do you think's the best? I mean, it just depends what kind of town you're looking for. Like obviously Joshua Tree's a great place to be away from people. This is totally different here.
Yep.
Palm Desert. But what do you think?
Yeah, and actually that's what our company, we have two companies. One, we do development. The other one, we do real estate sales. So we're a top 10 team in the Valley here last year for our sales efforts. And shout out to my team. Like they're doing a great job this year with all of COVID and everything. But we're experts on that here in town. That's what we've been doing for a long time. I would say that Joshua Tree is like its own creativity, get out of Dodge, like get away from the city spot. And that's where most people are coming from who are buying there. And like, we like to go there to go get away for a weekend and just let loose, hang out. A lot of people go up there and just like, they just walk around in their board shorts all day. No sandals, nothing.
Yeah.
They come back in and they're all dirty.
Just artist style.
Yeah,
just
and they love it,
Yeah.
And it's cool. I'm like, I hope you didn't step on any cactus, dude.
Yeah. Or rattlesnakes.
Yeah, right? Jumping cholla are nasty, man. I'd say that is probably the most still up and coming spot.
Oh, it is. So
yes.
You can still get in cheap.
It's still relatively affordable, I think, and there's still opportunities for big opportunities up there, and we have some cool stuff coming up there.
You do?
Yeah. Yucca Valley is like the stepsister, of Joshua Tree. There's a lot of cool stuff in Yucca Valley. That's actually where our new project is. There's a lot more stuff happening up there. A company called Homestead Modern is doing a lot. Dave's the owner. He's a really good guy, does really good work. He's up there doing a lot. He's one of the guys who helped draw me up there.
Right.
So those two areas I'd say are pretty similar. Joshua Tree has the cachet in the name. Yucca Valley's just kind of globbing on.
Still kind of cheap, though,
yeah,
right?
It's still cheap. I think the key for me is finding properties that have a little more space, at least 2.5 to 5 acres. And if you can get by the boulders or by a hill or the mountains, then you're stoked. And those properties are not going down in value.
Well, I saw you got a 3 acres for $99,000 right now.
Yeah.
Is that at an excellent area in the Joshua Tree area?
I'd say if that would be like a B location.
A B?
Yeah.
Do you have any
A
A's?
plus would be over by where the Invisible House is over there.
Yeah. Do you know any lots for sale over in that A plus area?
You can find them. They're just a lot more expensive now.
Like how much for an acre?
More than that 99. I mean, for an acre, you're going to pay probably the smallest lot you could probably find is 1.25 or 2.5, and you'll pay at least 150.
150?
And that's probably a good deal.
Really?
Yeah.
With water and power?
Yeah, it just would depend. You probably would have to bring water and power.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that cost?
Depends on how far it is, but on our last project, we had to do a water line extension like 1,600 feet because they made us, and that was like $55,000.
Yeah. So the properties over there are like $120,000?
Yeah, that's on the low end too.
On the low end?
Like right now, I just had someone offer on a property, 1 bed, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet on 5,000 5 acre lot.
Yeah.
$550, and then they got outbid by $50,000 over list
on 5 acres.
on 5 acres up in that same area. They call it Monument Manor.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine those people that got it free back in the day.
This chick that's selling it bought it for like $200.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean prices have appreciated a lot.
Just for the lots.
Yeah, well, and with the house too. They had
with
a little
the house.
Yeah, little house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
$550 with the house.
Yeah, little 1,000 square foot house. Yeah.
Did you do the one on Adobe?
Nope.
Somebody did that one. They look like yours, but they're just studios.
Oh, okay.
And they're like really incredible inside. The inside, like they just go to town on polished cement floors. Like
Have wood on the walls.
yeah.
Oh, that's Dave's. That's Homestead Modern. Did Andy take you there?
No, I saw one and then I drove over to look at it.
He does some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing a good job. He's got quite a few different projects going on.
Okay, so we got Joshua Tree and Yucca.
Yucca, Morongo, I'd say is just kind of like it's like people who are coming in are maybe like, dang, Joshua Tree prices have gone up a lot. I can still find something over here relatively cheap. It's not a bad buy. I just think you're a little more, there's not as much.
There's no soul, right?
There's not the soul. There's not the restaurants. There's not any life, of going on except like being at your house.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay, but it's just, it depends what you're looking for.
If you're trying to, isolate.
Isolate. Maybe you're like working on a record or a book. You're writing a book, like something like that. Great place to go, get away.
What about Joshua Tree? A lot of wind?
Joshua Tree can be windy too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty temperate climate. Like it can change really quickly. It just comes with the territory, You're in the desert, you're in the high desert. I remember camping there when I was a kid, and we went to go camp, and we got snowed on.
It snows out there.
Right.
That's what Andy said today. He goes, we get snow out
here.
Dude,
when they were building the houses over there, it snowed a couple times on each time we were building them. And not just like an inch, 3 to 4 inches.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah.
You built those 5 out there, right?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Yeah.
Ian and I were out there. We went and looked at the weird orange bubble houses.
Those are gnarly, huh?
It's for sale for $800 right now.
Oh, it is? They just put it up? Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So
good for her.
How long did you own that lot? And was that your original vision of like, I'm going to build some Airbnbs out here for somebody? How'd that happen?
The plan was just to build something cool and different and bring art and architecture kind of together. And originally, the first 2 were the 2 at the top, the rust one and the black one. Yeah. So I was talking with my dad, and I was telling him what I'm going to do. And then he comes back the next day and hands me this piece of paper, and he's like, okay, so I know you're building these 2, I want one. Yeah. And this is what I want. And he had a little picture drawn of his garage, and he's like, but I want you to add a garage and a casita and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool.
It looks like an old gas station.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was his. And then we built the one next door, and our goal was to keep it and rent it out. Well, we did, and we started renting it out, and then my dad was renting his, and we were just starting to it takes a few months to kind of build up and get people coming through. So we were just starting to do well, and this dude had stayed in the Black House twice, and he texts me, and he's like, hey, are you Troy, the one who built the house I've stayed at over there on Sun Ever? And I'm like, yeah, and he's like, I want to buy it. Like, well, dude, I just put permanent financing on it. I'm just, and he's like, well, I don't care. Just tell me what price you want. I want to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's $679. He's like, cool, let's open escrow. I'm ready. And so, a month and a half later, we closed escrow. And then he's like, hey, by the way, I'm not ready right yet, but maybe in 3 to 4 months, I want to buy the one next door too. And so I told my dad, and my dad's like, I don't know if I really want to sell it. So then, fast forward a couple months, my dad's plans had changed, and he's like, if Eric wants to buy it, I'll sell it to him. So then he bought that one too. And then he's like, you know what? You're building 2 more, right? Yeah. It's like, cool. I want those ones too.
Whoa.
All right. Sweet.
Is that he's a .com guy, or he owns a website? Who is that guy?
He's in he works for a large, a Google type company.
Yeah.
And he's really smart young guy. He's only 30.
Whoa.
And he likes buying real estate and holding on to it. And
so he's Airbnb-ing them, right?
Yep.
They're
Airbnb's
$400 a night.
Yeah, they do really well. Yeah. So, and they've got, those cowboy tubs and the jacuzzi.
I saw that.
It's really cool. It's cool. And that was all Dave. That was Dave from Homestead Modern. He started those cowboy tubs and the spas, and he's a really smart guy. And I was lucky to have him kind of shepherd me and teach me all that stuff. So
let's talk about the rust one. Is that an RV garage there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
My dad had he'd park his Airstream in there.
Oh, Ian and I pulled up here, and I go, I'm like, look at this, man.
Well, it's a cool spot. If you were an artist or, into yoga, or you could use that whole space for a recording studio.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You could do something really cool with it.
Is there a guest house in the front there?
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
right?
man. What'd that one go for?
That went for not much more. I think it was $780.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so like $100,000 more than the other one.
that's the one I like because I love garages. I
Bitchin',
was
huh?
like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's cool. So now that lot over there you mentioned for 99 that we have for sale, that is for sale. We were going to build a house there for us because we wanted to build one to keep,
Yeah.
because we sold that one. And then we ended up finding a different lot that we liked better. So that's why we put that one up for sale.
Got you.
So we've got plans going on that other new lot. And then we
Where's your new lot?
It's up over by where the fairgrounds are, where they do the Joshua Tree Music Festival.
I've never been there, but yeah.
You know what? I haven't been to it yet either, Ed. I was supposed to go this last year, and it didn't work out. But it's supposedly like how Coachella used to be.
Right.
And it's supposed to be pretty rad.
Well,
so we should go this year. I want to go.
let's do it.
I know, right?
Cathedral City, what is that?
That's actually where I lived for 9 years.
Oh,
That's
really?
where I first moved when I came out here. It's definitely like a blue collar kind of town. Most of the working class lives there, and I would say Indio and Palm Desert. It's a nice little city, There's some architectural product in there on the south end.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just kind of like an in-betweener community. There's not much, history there or
Yeah.
anything.
And then
But-
Indio is kind of done because of Coachella.
So anything around the fairgrounds has done amazingly well.
Yeah.
And people rent. I mean, if you're within walking distance,
Oh, forget it.
You rent for like $25,000 a weekend.
Yeah, forget it.
It's insane.
It is
So
insane.
like you rent for one weekend, 2 weekends, and you've paid for your mortgage for the whole year plus some. Indio has some architecture scattered around too. It just hasn't really caught on, but it's kind of more like, beat up kind of neighborhoods. They haven't really been gentrified yet.
Yeah.
Palm Desert, definitely more families. Second biggest population-wise city out here. Indio's the biggest. Palm Desert and Palm Springs are pretty close, second. Everything you need is in Palm Desert. All the shopping, the Whole Foods, Target, all the main places that people go. It's all right there. You can golf cart everywhere.
Wow.
I'm biased because I live here, but I
course.
think I chose here because I think it's the best city. My wife was like, we got to move to Palm Desert. It's the best spot. They have the best schools. Let's try to find a house. We kept looking. We couldn't find anything. We finally stumbled across this guy, and there you go.
Have you seen any old mid-centuries out in Joshua Tree area?
There are some. Yeah.
I've seen some.
They're around. Yeah.
Have
Yep.
you been in them though? Like, are they like just garbage or,
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have been actually like walked inside one. I've seen pictures of them.
Yeah.
We've sold a couple. Not that I went in, but some of our Kim, one of our agents, sold a nice one up there that had been fixed up. They're a little more few and far between. I'd say even if you went to like 29 Palms, you'd probably find more. Maybe.
Oh, well, we talked to
Yeah.
a guy a couple weeks ago, a real estate agent out there. Mm-hmm. He bought one for $56,000. How long ago was that, Ian? 2 years ago? Yeah.
Okay.
And he bought it in foreclosure.
Yeah, there's still pretty good deals out there, and still things hitting foreclosure.
It's
and
pretty way out there, though.
It's out there though. I'd rather pay a little bit more and
Yeah.
have even a B minus A minus locate or B plus A minus location.
How many? I mean, you got 3 right here. We're inside a house right now. We're doing this podcast in one of your places. You've sold like 3 houses in a row here. They're all next door. Was
so
this
there's
just
4
an
of 'em.
empty lot or old houses?
Yeah, so when we moved here, I run in the morning. That's how I exercise a lot of times. And I would keep running by these lots and like, how come nobody ever built there? And they had a sign up on them. I called the lady. She's like, they're not really for sale anymore. That's an old sign. But keep my number in case you never know. And so like every year I would call her like, hey, what's up? You guys want to sell now? And then,
Yeah.
So it ended up that they had sold one at some point to another guy and they owned 3. And then I called her one day and I was in between projects and looking for another one. And I'm like, I think this might be the right time to do something over there. Called her up and she's like, actually, my son owns them and he does want to sell now. Here's his number. So I call him, talk to him. She's like, I don't even need to be involved. Just talk to him. You guys work it out. And we worked something out. He's a super fair guy. Really, he was an attorney out in the city of Orange. And I bought the 3 from him. And then the one in the middle, because it was 2, didn't own, and then this one we're sitting on now. So that lot there we didn't own. And hunted that guy down, found his agent. She's actually the mayor now, which is kind of weird. But she helped me get in touch with him, and we bought that one too. So then we got all of them. And slowly but surely, we did 2 on the end, and then we just finished these 2 a couple months ago, and now this one will be sold in about 2 weeks.
Did you find out the history of why they didn't build? I mean, we're in a full-on neighborhood, and this amount of non-built property
seems weird, right?
Yeah, really insane.
Well, so the houses behind us, there's also 4 lots up there.
Yeah.
And this all was owned, and I found all this out from the lady who lives across the street. It was all owned by the Living Desert, who is a little zoo here that's actually grown to be a pretty good-sized zoo, and they do a lot of, environmental responsibility, curation and all that kind of stuff. And they had owned this, and I think it was probably just donated to them at some point. Well, then, and in her opinion, this was a lush desert area, and it was beautiful, and she had painted this mural inside of her house that was a mural of what this looked like.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and so then someone bought it, subdivided it all, built a few houses there, sold one off, another guy built one, and then there was these 4 left. And they just were sitting, and the guy who had bought them, who was the attorney, he never had any, plans of probably doing anything that actually materialized. So then he just sold them.
Wow, man.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But those stories, that's how the stories are of a lot of my projects. The
Eichler neighborhood?
So the Eichler neighborhood.
Yeah.
I hunted that lady down, and she was an old lady in Chicago. I got her answering machine, left her a message. Tried her again, left her another message, and then she called me back randomly and is like, "Oh, it's nice that you called, this and that. Like, actually, I do want to sell those." And then I learned the story. It was Dr. Scholl's property.
Whoa, really?
The foot doctor.
The foot doctor?
Yeah.
And was that his daughter or something? Like his old daughter?
So, no. So she was the second owner. He was the first owner. He built this big house on 2 lots, and then all the property around it, which was 8 lots, which she subdivided at some point.
Where is that? Is that here in Desert?
That's in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So the Eichlers are in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Ooh, adding extra value.
Yeah. That's why they've jumped up so much in price.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So the house she had sold to some other guy, but she owned all the lots. And so I worked it out with her because I didn't have the juice to take down all of them. So I was like, can I buy 4? And then, you promised me that you'll let me buy the next 4. And we agreed, like, hey, well, the next 4 are going to cost a little bit more. And I said, okay, that's fine. And we've worked it out. And she honored her agreement, and she was really happy. She made a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for the lots had to be big money, right?
At the time, I bought them for like $220 a lot. And then the second ones were like $235 a lot. And now you can't find a lot for $400,000 anywhere. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Palm
Crazy.
Springs is it's kind of done as far as like finding any scores or anything out there. That's not going to happen.
I tried to work out some projects in there recently, and I can't make it pencil out.
Yeah.
I like working in Joshua Tree because I don't have to feel so like rushed to get it done. I can be creative. Our new site is like it's 35 acres. It's 5 5-acre lots and 1 10-acre lot, and we're going all out. You're
building a bunch of properties there?
Yeah.
Whoa, how many?
So there'll be 7. Yeah, wait, 6. I'm trying to get one more lot, which would make it 7.
Whoa.
I'm hoping it's 7 because I like the number 7 better.
And each one is what, a half-acre lot?
Each one's 5 acres.
Each one's 5 acres?
Yeah.
So the house will be on 5 acres?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's in this valley that's surrounded by mountains on all sides, and once you get into the valley, it's all our lots. So you get up there, there's boulders everywhere, these cool boulders like coming out of the side of the mountains and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And I've already got, are you up with like modern day architects?
Yeah.
Okay. I talked last week on Tuesday with Rick Joy for quite a while. I don't know if you know him. He's out of Tucson.
Oh yeah.
Big, like doing big, huge
Like
projects.
a Frank Lloyd Wright type of guy.
He's a big name guy now, and so he's like, I'm in. I'm excited. Let's do it. So he's involved. Marmol Radziner. I don't know if you've heard of them. They do a lot of like big time like architectural redos, like Neutra houses.
Oh man.
All the big name, case study kind of houses. They've preserved so many of them.
Whoa, really?
And so Leo had become a friend of mine through Modernism Week and through doing the Eichlers. I met him at a party at one of the Eichlers, and he's like, "You're the guy doing this. Oh, I wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "I wanted to meet you. Like you're a legend, you know."
So he's gonna do some design for you.
Yeah. So we've got.
So it's gonna be different guys in there.
Yeah. So we're gonna do like a high-end architectural. Each house is gonna be a different, like guru of architecture.
Dude, that's gonna be like the.
Dude, it's gonna be off the hook. I'm like. I haven't been this excited about a project in a while. I kind of alluded to you on the phone. Yeah. But
and each one will be a totally like, what are you going to have? Like a case study type of home and then kind of a Neutra style home or what?
I'm still working on that. I'm getting my creative juices going on what, like there's got to be some kind of central theme that's incorporated into all the houses. And I don't know what that is yet, but a buddy of mine, he lives the next street over is Philip K. Smith. He's a big like outdoor art install aficionado. Like he's amazing. This guy, he does mirror and light and movement, and his aesthetic is just so unique and different.
Did he do that artwork by the Airbnb ones?
No, that's a different guy. Those are cool though, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, but I was inspired by him when I put that mirror up there.
Gotcha.
But Philip did a house up there called, oh my gosh, why can't Lucid Stead?
Yeah.
Look it up.
I will.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen someone create out of a house.
Wow.
Like he basically he took one of those old cabins that are up there, those little tiny things.
Yeah.
And instead of windows, he made them these like light cells that change color, but also reflect with mirror. And at different times of the day.
It's different colors?
It's different colors. Whoa. And it looks like you can like the environment and the house are one, and they like meld and change. Like it's insane. I can't really describe it. You got to see it though.
Wow.
But so what I'm trying to do and work out, and I think he's on board, but we haven't worked out all the details yet. So I'm being careful with what I say, but that he will be involved with each residence and have his own like touch of creative like art that incorporates with the house.
These sound like multi-million-dollar huts.
They're going to be pretty legit.
How much?
I don't know yet, but it's definitely they're going to cost a lot of money.
Like, what do you think?
Probably like $2 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
But you know what? The thing is, up there's a market for that, and nobody's providing it.
I know.
So I'm like, well, might as well be me. I'll go for it. And
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of about 20 years ago, Cabo.
Cabo's changed a lot, huh?
Oh, dude. So
interesting. I haven't been there in a while.
Let's say Cabo 90s. I was hanging out there playing music a lot.
Yeah.
Dirt road, taco stand, Giggle and Marlin, weird local bar. Dirt roads. Fast forward 10 years later, Costco's, full mansions. The Sammy Hagar type of friends are coming in.
Big resorts and hotels and
paved
timeshares.
Streets all of a sudden. There was a Planet Hollywood for about 3 years. Then we went out of business. But all of a sudden, I was there and I was like, whoa, what happened out here? And that's what Joshua Tree reminds me right now of the early days of Cabo.
That's a good point.
Like early days of Cabo, I'd be out there and I'd stay at this resort, the Twin Dolphin, or, these weird ones that were just down dirt roads, and you're like, this is insane. And I always, I got to live here when I'm older,
right?
And now that's kind of what it feels like when Joshua treated me. Like, I got to get out here,
I think you're right. That's a good way. That's a good analogy. The other twist to Joshua Tree that makes it so unique is two things. You've got three things. You've got what the locals call the monument, which is the national park, because it used to be a monument before Obama made it a national park. Right. I think it was Obama. No, it was No,
Clinton?
It was Clinton. Yeah, it was Clinton. So that's number one. Number two, you've got this huge artist influence out there, right?
Of course.
And then three, you've got Pappy and Harriet's, which is now
The best.
housed amazing artists and musicians from all over the world.
Pioneer Town, yeah.
Dude, it's insane. So you've got this like trifecta of things that's bringing people there, plus everyone wanting to exodus out of cities right now.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect storm.
Have you looked around at any lots at Pioneer Town? And we did hear that there was a water issue up there. So give me some run on that, because I feel Pioneer Town is really kind of spiritual. When you're out there, it's like there's something about it. As soon as you turn the corner and you're at Pappy and Harriet's, it's like, oh, man. Yeah, you just feel like this weight comes off your shoulders.
Well, because your phone doesn't work anymore. That's like the best part. Yeah, you're like, sweet, I don't have to look at my phone anymore. I can't call anyone. I can't text anyone. It's actually nice, you know. And then if you pass Pappy's and you continue down that road, you'll hit Pipes Canyon Road.
Yeah.
And back in there, I mean, properties are just going for huge numbers now. Like one of the Blink-182 guys has a house back there. Bunch of different like big name, you know, artists and musicians.
So is that area over with as far as deals?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as deals go. Yeah. But like there's a house back there. I think it just sold for like 1.5.
Yeah.
Or it's about to close. And it was not a Frank Lloyd Wright, but it was one of Frank Lloyd Wright's understudies.
Oh, rad.
And it's sick.
It's in there?
Yeah. On like 100 acres.
Whoa.
Dude, it has this huge boulder, like right next to the house. Oh. It's insane. And the whole inside is just like stacked with wood upon wood detail.
You got
and
pictures?
Custom. I do. Yeah.
Well, send them over to me.
Yeah, for sure.
What about the water issue up there? Is it
So the well, you're allowed to dig wells, but they're starting to cut down or get more stringent on how many they're allowing.
Yeah.
And the part of having a well is like, you know, it could not produce water anymore after a certain period of time, so then you got to redig it.
Oh, shit.
It's expensive, but it just depends. I mean, most people aren't using a ton of water out there anyways.
Yeah.
You know, all you need is toilet and sink water, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a big deal. Most people don't have pools.
Yeah.
So there are some out there, you know.
Yeah.
But some people truck water in too.
Whoa.
Yep.
Truck it in?
Yep, just like once a month, truck comes in, fills up your big tank you got out there, and then you got enough water to last for a month, or some people it's more than that.
That's too rustic for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, the water guy didn't make it. You know?
I know, right? Can't take a dump.
Yeah. Well, man, I can't thank you enough for talking to me. I just love what you're doing. I was looking at your Eichler neighborhood, and I was losing my mind. Unfortunately, they're out of my price range.
They've gotten up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great to talk to you and pick your brain on what's going on out here, you know?
It's changing a lot out here. We've definitely we've went from like this little small resort town to, you know, I don't know how to put it, but an architectural spot. Like, I mean, everyone in the world knows Palm Springs now. Not everyone, but most people as architectural haven.
100%.
And really, it's grown in kind of spreading into Joshua Tree. Maybe not so much for architecture, but all those three things I mentioned to you, and cool, awesome properties that are now surfacing out there.
Let me show you something really cool.
Yeah. I'll pull up those pictures of
do that.
The Frank Lloyd Wright guy.
Give everybody your website while we're doing this.
Yeah, our website is www.cudproperties.com, which is KUD as in David, properties.com. On there, you can see all of our projects that we've done, not all of them, but all of our new build projects, most of them, and you can, you know, see properties for sale and see all the real estate that we work on as well. I try to keep it pretty updated. I'm proud of our site. We've spent a lot of time working on it, and it's pretty groovy.
Have you seen this house? It's the Edris house.
Yep, I know it well.
Okay, it was 4.2. They just lowered it $1 million.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder why they're selling it already. It sold not that long ago.
I don't know. Weird, right?
Yeah, that's an awesome house.
This is an insane house.
Yeah, I was a docent in that house one time for a tour.
Oh, really?
It's one of my favorite houses out here.
Look at that, dude.
The views are sick.
Oh my God! Right?
Yeah, that's a E. Stewart Williams house.
Yeah.
I've worked on 2 E. Stewart Williams properties before.
What's that famous one in Palm Springs?
Well, there's the Neutra house, which is the
that one. What's it called?
That one, the Kaufman house.
Yeah, the Kaufman house. Have you been in there?
No.
God.
The guy who owns it now, he's just like
he restored that thing.
Very secretive with it. Like he doesn't really allow many people to go there and stuff.
It's got a haunting vibe too when you pull up.
It's so cool.
Oh my God.
A good friend of mine, good friends of mine, Klaus and Kelly, they did a photo shoot there.
Yeah.
And reenacted the old Slim Aarons photo.
Oh yeah,
you know which one?
I saw that photo
gossip.
shoot. Yeah.
Right. So then Kelly and Klaus redid it. And they were able to go there and be at the property, and like they saw a little bit of the inside, and they were just like, man, Troy, we wish you could have come. Like, it's so awesome.
I wonder what that place is worth, man. 10 million?
Dude. Probably more.
The Elvis honeymoon joint's up for sale.
It is. It was in escrow, and that guy had consulted with us, and we were going to possibly sell it, and then it just didn't play out. But that thing is killer.
Yeah, cool. That thing's nuts.
Cool house. It needs a lot of love.
Ooh, what's this?
That's the house I'm telling you about on Flying Tiger in
that's the
Pioneer
Frank Ward,
Town.
right?
It's one of his understudies.
Right.
I think if you hit those little arrows, you can. Yeah. There you go. But it's super cool. You see, like I didn't even know that existed out there.
Unbelievable.
This guy's owned it for a while, and it's so protected. There's no way to get to it unless you know somebody.
Pioneer Town, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see this, Ian. Oh, man, what are these rocks in the living room?
Right? Insane, huh?
Oh, show Ian that thing.
This inspired me for our new site. So that's the way we're going.
Yeah.
There are a lot of boulders, a lot of rocks for sure. Yeah. And that's why there's a place called Gamma Gulch.
Yeah.
That's back in there. We almost had a lot. We were in escrow on a lot back there, and we dumped it and didn't end up moving forward, but it's like it literally feels like you landed on the moon when you drive into this little area. Yeah.
Gamma Gulch?
Gamma Gulch.
And why'd you drop out?
There was some issues with access to the site. And then at the same time, we're like, man, our goal of investing this money at the time, because it was not our like business money. It was our, let's invest it so we can create income money.
Right.
And, we're like, it's going to take us 2 years before we even have a house
all
done.
Wrapped up.
And then it'll be, we're not making any income on it. So instead we bought an A-frame cabin in Big Bear and that we rent out. So, that worked out better, I think. It was the right choice.
All right, man. Thanks for talking to me, dude.
Dude, awesome. It's been a fun time, and thanks for asking me.
Oh my God. I love talking to you because I know you get it, and it's a certain thing. You're like a guy I bump into at a party, and then we start talking, and then
you never stop talking the whole night.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy right here, man.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm super stoked that you asked me, and it's cool because I don't always get to share, all these different things and get, people that are okay with like talking and asking them, the questions,
Yeah.
It is. There's a lot to talk about around here, and it's good to sit down and talk it through because most people don't know. This is probably the worst month to be out here.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, it's beautiful out here.
Yeah. What? How many months a year is it nice?
I would say 9.
9 months. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, August is the worst. June, July. June can be nice and September can be nice, but they also can suck too. It just depends. But August is always humid, really hot. It's usually 110 or higher.
Yeah.
So that sucks. You're inside in the pool or gone. Those are the options.
And then what are you looking at the rest of the time? Is it just 70s all the time?
Pretty much.
Wow.
70s, 80s. Like you get used to that, like 90s beautiful. Because it's 90 and at night it's 55.
Killer.
And you're going for a walk and chilling outside on the patio, having a drink and dinner. And I mean, there's so many cool little restaurants out here, and the community here is just pretty awesome.
In this area, you mean?
Yeah, Palm Springs even too.
Yeah.
Just great people.
Yeah.
We've gotten really tight with a lot of restaurant owners and that community, and just There's so many good people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it here. That's what I thought, like, I should do a podcast and just do it with all the local people and support their businesses and stuff. And
that's
so
gonna
you
be
should
me.
you should come do it.
I'll be out here doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be my co-host.
I'll get you connected.
You'll be my co-host. We got to build a hut for me first, though.
Let's do it.
Ian and I, man, we found your place, and I'm so glad we found it by accident. We were just going to look at that weird mud hut thing,
So
and as
funny.
we turned down the street, I went, "Oh, what the fuck are these?" We didn't even look. We looked at the mud hut for a minute. We want to just
Let's go there.
And this is what we said. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then we just drove up the hill and we're like, look at this. Look, I got goosebumps.
Oh,
dude.
nice.
Because
That's cool.
The view
It's
was
sick, huh?
blowing my mind.
Dude, when you're inside those houses, the view
Yeah.
just like smacks you in the face
Oh.
every way, you know?
So the guy owns them all now and he just Airbnbs them.
Mm-hmm.
He's got one for sale.
No?
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 Oh. I thought there was one for sale there for $700. Is that in a different spot?
No, I think it's a different house over there.
Oh, but it looks
Yeah.
like those.
There's a similar looking house over there, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, now that we did those, like we did those, and Dave from Homestead Modern has done some other cool houses too. But now there's a bunch of new people that have come in, and they're just like, oh, that's all we got to do, and then we can make them. So, which is fine. That's what happens. You
Right,
know?
yeah.
I think it's good.
Right.
The more cool stuff that can be built there, the better.
Do you think before we get out of here, in the next couple months, we've got the
Election.
election, and this market out here is nutty right now. But do you think with the election and if eventually a vaccine comes, that the market will cool off?
I think we're in for another couple of years at least of some pretty good real estate sales.
Yeah.
I don't see an imminent cool off. Maybe a pause. Maybe just a little bit of a pause. I don't see much of a decrease in pricing.
Right.
I think if we get we kind of were in a recession. I don't know if we still are or not,
Yeah.
but I guess that's up for the pundits to talk about. But I think if a couple years from now we get some slowdown and a real kind of like real estate recession, I don't see us going back down much more than where we're at now. Like
Yeah.
I think there's still some more appreciation coming, and if it goes down, it'll be about where we're at now. That's my take.
I believe that too. For years, people have been telling me like, oh yeah, the market will tank and then you get in then. I'm like, I've been hearing that for 20 years.
That was 2009.
Yeah.
That was the opportunity.
Yeah, come on over here.
So me and Dean were talking last night, and is the reason why there's no recession now, because I feel like under normal circumstances, if 2009 didn't happen and this happened this year, there would be a recession. But because of what everybody learned from the recession of 2009, that's why it's not tanking now.
With real estate, you mean?
Yeah, real estate.
Yeah.
Nobody's panicking. Like, I think in 2009, everybody panicked. Mm-hmm. And then they saw what happened when you do panic.
Yeah.
And then everything drops. And then they're like, no, if you just hold on to everything and not panic, because to me, a recession is very mental.
Right. It's sentiment.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think you're spot on. That's a big part of it. I think the other part of it is the banks are way more healthy than they were in 2009. Right. The banks were all over leveraged. They had gotten into really risky investments that were not playing out, and it all crashed. Yeah. And to do the short version of it, but I think that paired with what you just said, sentiment, and that people are in this like state where they have pretty good jobs and incomes, and they want to get the heck out of the city. And so it's spurred growth in all the suburbs. Colorado sales have hit like record sales. That too, yeah. But in the last even 6 months, Colorado's is like gone up even more. Boise, Idaho, a lot of these places where people are coming out of LA, Seattle, San Francisco,
Nashville, probably now.
Yep, exactly. So I think there's quite a few factors. I think those are three main ones. And as the economy recovers, let's say, hopefully, knock on wood, real estate is a inflation hold. So when inflation goes up, real estate goes up too. So I think holding real estate long term. Inflation's been so low for so long, and interest rates are so low. That's got to give at some point, and when it does, all that does is create an increase in value in real estate 9 times out of 10.
What were you doing in 2009? Was it 2000?
I was a commercial real estate broker, and I was on commission only. My wife and I had just started talking about having a family, and shit hit the fan. And my business partner at the time was like, "Dude, if there's anything else you can go do, like, we're probably not going to make any money this year." And I'm like, "Well, thanks for tipping me off. Like, shoot, I was working as hard as I could, just trying to source up deals. And then I got a random call from this real estate mogul guy, and he's like, "Hey, I need somebody to run my buildings in Palm Springs. Like, the guy I had forever, he just retired, and will you do it? And I'll pay you a salary plus commission." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take the interview." And he hired me, and I was like, I had salary through the whole crisis.
Damn.
It was totally like a godsend. I was totally blessed, and I'm still like, that helped propel me into what we're doing now. So thankful. But yeah, it was tough. I was out here, and out here got its ass kicked from that big time. Yeah.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
man.
Thanks for the question. That's a good question.
Tell everybody your website.
Website's www.cudproperties.com. My Instagram's cudproperties, KUD. And thanks for listening, and thanks for having us.
Oh, I love you, man.
Super stoked to talk about it.
And hopefully we'll do some kind of business or something one day.
We'll be doing business or vibing or something.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. I hope you enjoyed this fantastic conversation on architecture and, basically giving people ideas if you are looking to relocate somewhere. Candles are lit. All right, that was a very, very cool conversation with my man Troy right there. And I can't even tell you how cool his homes were. And now we are going to sit down with Andy Canada, who built some of the homes for Troy and is also doing all kinds of magic out there in the desert. This man is a wizard in the construction world, and I absolutely love what this guy builds. It is mind-boggling to me, the quality of this stuff. Let's get into it right now. Here it is, part 2 of the architecture, construction, Joshua Tree Desert extravaganza. Here he is, Andy Canada. All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk. This is going to be a handmade episode, and it is a very amazing location. I'm out in Joshua Tree right now in a architectural masterpiece called the Invisible House. And introduce yourself, my guest right now.
Yeah, my name's Andy Canada. I own a company, Home and Construction Services. Builds lots of homes up here in the high desert, Joshua Tree, and low desert, Indian Wells, Palm Desert.
And you built this.
I took the project over after the concrete foundation was done and the steel structure was up.
So somebody else started it, and then they were kind of abandoned the project, and you took it over?
Yeah, it sat for a couple of years, and then I finished it up.
I mean, I have dove down the rabbit hole recently of looking at places in Joshua Tree, and I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I love architecture that's mid-century and modern, and it kept coming up, your name. You were building these places, and I was like, who's this Andy Canada? I've got to talk to this guy.
Nice.
And I need to know your background. Were you always into modern architecture, or do you build any kind of houses? How did this all start for you?
Well, I started out young in construction at 16. I was a plastering contractor up until, hit my, early 40s. And then got my contractor's license, started building homes in the low desert, Indian Wells mostly, doing large homes. And then when the market opened up here about 2-3 years ago is when I moved up here and started doing these architectural modern homes. So,
was it your idea to build this type of places, or was it the clients?
Combination of client, myself, and the architects they were dealing with, trying to find cost-effective ways to build modern architectural houses.
I mean, that seems to be what the hot vibe is right now out here.
Yeah.
And there are these Eichlers and stuff like that that's being built, and they blow my mind, man. Now, do you have different architects that work on the plans for you, or do you have a specific guy that goes, I do this type of stuff?
Most of the architects these days are drawing the modern homes. I deal with 4 or 5 pretty closely that, do the modern homes. All of them are a little bit different design, different price ranges, but trying to fit the right architect with the right customer. Usually the customer comes to me looking for advice, who to use. So that's when I send them in the right direction after I see what their inspiration is.
This place we're in, I really cannot even believe what I'm seeing right now. We're in a basically, how big is this?
It's 224 feet long by 24 feet wide.
It's all glass.
14 foot tall.
And it's completely perfect views of Joshua Tree right at the gates, the entrance. I can see it out there.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate for what you would think Joshua Tree. This actually looks like something that'd be like out of Blade Runner or something.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got the 98-foot pool. It's all 6 feet deep.
Indoors.
So, yeah.
So how many bedrooms is this?
3 bedroom, 4 bath.
3 bedroom, 4 bath, no garage.
No.
That's interesting out here because I'm such a garage freak also.
Yeah.
But this thing, I first started seeing it on Instagram, and I was like, what is this place? It came up, a celebrity stayed here last month. What's her name?
Alicia.
Not Alicia Keys.
Oh.
There was another one. And she came out for like a weekend, and she Instagrammed like, releasing my brain or something. And I was like, what is that house? That's got to be fake. And then I dive in, and it was you. And a movie producer owns this. What's his name?
Chris Hanley.
And he did, what did he do?
He did the American Psycho movies, Spring Breakers, and a bunch more. Just
unreal. And was it this guy's vision of this, style?
Yes, it was. Yeah, Chris Hanley came up with the design, the vision of it, all glass, and yeah, gave it that, I guess it would be a 22-story skyscraper on its side.
And you were telling me as we walked in, you can't do this type of building anymore.
Yeah, currently with the California building codes and energy requirements, you can't have this much glass on a single home. You got to meet the energy requirements that they outline now, and it's just changed in 2020 as well.
Is that because of the amount of ACs you got to have and stuff?
Yeah, number of ACs, how much solar gain you get from the sun every day throughout the year. And so they're trying to really crack down on it. So trying to make them energy efficient as possible in California.
Now, was he, did he see something like this, or this was just completely off his mind of like, I want to have a house? Because it's called the invisible house because when you pull up to it, it's all glass and it reflects what's around the landscape, so it just looks like it's landscape.
Yeah, definitely. And especially at night, can't see that it's up here at all.
It's so unreal, man. I mean, so how long did it take to build this?
He worked on it for a couple years on the concrete part of it and the structural steel, and then it sat for quite a few years, and then he was out of the country, and came back and decided to finish it. So that's when he looked me up and hired me to finish it for him. So we spent about 9 months finishing it, and got it going for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what does this cost to build?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I do it cost plus, so I did not do the whole project. So I only did the finishes on it, the glass, air conditioning, electric, plumbing, and, pool finishes on it. So.
Now, you had never built anything like this, so what kind of challenges were you running into?
Oh, well, with building, it's pretty straightforward, Everybody's going to have different finishes, different walls, These ones are glass, so, we just accommodate. Building's pretty basic once you've done a bunch of houses, so nothing too challenging.
I like how he went with the open metal roof here. There's no... It looks like when you're building like a skyscraper, and then they put in those shitty slots.
Yeah.
What is that stuff?
The acoustic panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no acoustic panels, and it's... I I've really never seen anything like it. I'm here with Ian Edwards, and we walked up and we were just like, oh my God. I mean, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, the pictures give it no justice.
No justice. Now, they Airbnb it, right?
No, I don't think it's on Airbnb. I'm not quite sure how he's doing that, but I know he's let some select clients stay here in the past. But
Right.
so we could ask him about that, though.
It's unreal. So I'm interested in the types that you're building that were up on that hill that are Airbnbs now, actually. They're just kind of these cool, like modern, almost kind of looks like an old school gas station with the throw roof and everything.
Yeah.
Those are unbelievable.
Were
About
you-
what, 1,200 square feet?
Yeah, 12 to 1,500 square feet is usually what people build up in this area.
Now, I saw a bunch coming down Adobe Road here, like a few of there's a new one there by the school being built.
Uh-huh.
Same kind. Are you doing that one?
No.
No.
No, I'm just starting one here on Quail Springs Road. We just started trenching today. Don't know if you saw the tractors on the way up about a mile out of here.
Yeah.
And then I got one just over here about a mile away on Via Ricosa. It was a Homestead Modern Blue Sky hybrid house. So raised up on steel frames, elevated above the ground, 4 to 5 feet, and 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet with en-suites. So
Wow.
yeah, I can run you by there, take a look.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. Could you get something out? First of all, I wanted to ask you. We're on the Joshua Tree side, and then the other side is of the highway. That's way cheaper over there, right?
Yeah, it's considered Joshua Tree as well.
Yeah,
and
but-
then you go out several miles, it turns into Landers.
But this is the side you want to be on, right?
Yeah, this is the higher end side. Property is a lot more expensive over here, but build costs stay the same. So it's just what your preference is in property. More boulders and rocks and mountains on this side, but
The more boulders and rocks, the more the land. How much for an acre, say, right in here?
I think it's going upwards of like 30 grand an acre, maybe even higher.
Wow. Because I did see 3 acres out here for sale for 99 grand.
Yeah, so yeah,
Right.
in that ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, this is, if you're going to do it, you got to do it on this side, right?
Yeah, yeah. Property is getting scarce up in this area, but every once in a while, lots do come on the market. You just really got to watch for them.
Oh, so the lots are all snatched up?
Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you got to wait.
yeah, yep. There's a few for sale up here right now, I believe, but
Any good ones?
not that I've seen. Most of them were overpriced, in my opinion, but there's always room for negotiation, I believe.
Oh, man. Could you do something in here that was kick ass for 300 grand?
Oh, yeah, if it was in the 1,200 square foot range.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe up to 1,500 square feet. Depends on the finishes and, how much the window package is. A lot of people like to go with these big windows, which really raises the square footage price because of the cost of the window package.
Oh, the windows are the deal, huh?
Yeah, we can do, a 6-8 foot slider with a clear story window above it for, 3,000 to 4,000, or we can get a Fleetwood that's 8 foot tall, for 22,000. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lots of choices to be made in building a home, as far as how much you want to spend and what you're really looking for.
I'm telling you, man, you got it going on out here. Now, how long you lived out here?
I grew up here, and then 22 years old, I moved up to Seattle for 18 years, and then I moved back. Been building up here 13 years now.
You like it out here?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah?
After dealing with that Seattle traffic,
Yeah.
worst thing I get to tourists, driving slow and looking at trees,
Yeah. What are some of the downfalls out here? On the other side, is that where you have to worry about the flash floods?
No, just near the wash areas. So when it flash floods, it all runs into a central wash or dirt roads. So, it only lasts about a half an hour, and then water runs off in the next hour, and you're pretty good to go.
Wow. Do you get that on this side?
Yeah, all throughout the desert here.
Oh, wow.
It'll rain over here, but not rain on the other side of Joshua Tree. So it's just big thunder cells that move through and hit a certain area. Some is a hit and some's a miss.
What do you see as far as like the future out here? I know it's pretty damn hot right now because of COVID. People are moving out of LA out here.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how hot this market is right now.
Yeah. Real hot in Joshua Tree, Yucca Valley, surrounding areas.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Palm Springs is on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, since the COVID thing picked up, I've been getting a lot more calls of people wanting to move to the area and have a home built, There is a limited supply of houses up here already built, so not near enough to meet the demand.
Let's say somebody calls you and wants to get one of those 1,200 square feet places built, and I'm going to put it up on my Instagram so you guys can see what type of place I'm talking about. Those ones that are on the hill, how long would that take to build from, say, a day a guy talks to you to it's done?
He's probably looking at 10 months to 12 months. Definitely need a couple months to draw the plans up and then submit it to, if you're in the county, they usually take about 2 months to 3 months to process the plans, give you your permit. And once we start building, it takes 6 to 7 months to completely build a home.
And what kind of red tape out here? Is it pretty straightforward, or is it like LA where it's like, oh my God?
No, pretty straightforward. They got good inspectors out here, so that's the only drawback is they only do inspections 2 days a week in different areas. So that's a little bit of a holdup, but we try to plan accordingly and get the inspections done, keep the process moving.
They only do it 2 days a week?
Yeah, like Joshua Tree, I think they do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Pioneer Town, they only do Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Landers and outskirts,
How's Pioneer Town for prices compared to Joshua Tree? Cheaper?
A little bit cheaper, but still on the high end, but a lot of nice lots up there.
I love it out there.
Yeah.
To me, it would be Joshua Tree or Pioneer Town. But Pioneer Town, what would be the downfalls and the upsides of the two?
Well, in Pioneer Town, the water up there is bad. So
The water up there's bad?
Yeah, the county's recently ran water lines up there to bring fresh water up to the town, but it's really slow as far as giving water meters. So until you can get a water meter up there, you have to wait, or you can drill a well. So if you do the well aspect of it, then you have to throw in a filtration system to get rid of the arsenic in the water. Runs, $8,000 to $10,000 for that filtration, but it would be a whole house filtration and keep you and your family safe.
Wow, that's good to know. And then it's all propane up there?
Yeah, correct. It's all propane.
Well, it's so weird, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Joshua Tree's got a vibe. I mean, Pioneer Town's got a vibe, man.
Yeah, I built quite a few houses up there as well.
Yeah. Man, this thing we're in right now, it's hard to even, like you said, pictures do not do this thing justice. I just couldn't imagine living in this thing. It's so incredible.
Yeah.
It's so what do we got here? We got a bedroom here, or is that an office?
It's a bedroom over there.
Yeah.
It's got a ensuite bathroom, 10-foot mirrored glass doors, so reflective on both sides.
Wow. And then we got the pool.
Yep.
And then that's kind of the living room.
Yep.
And then the kitchen down there.
And then on the right-hand side is another master suite. So got to check out the shower in there. It's a freestanding shower in the middle of the bedroom.
Yeah.
And then the toilet, obviously closed off. And then on the left-hand side, that big piece of mirrored glass there is a shower right behind it. So that's like the guest shower.
Wow.
Use the house. And then behind that's the master suite area.
And then there's kind of is that a container home out there, the guest area?
It's not a container home. It was a prefab trailer office.
And Alicia Keys came out here and turned that into a recording studio.
Yeah, that is correct.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a little bit about the container home world. Are you a fan of those?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I've been trying to get something going with giant shipping containers out of Canada.
Oh, I love them. Is it Huno or what's the company?
Giant.
Oh, Giant. There's another company in Canada.
Yeah, Honomobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys have a kind of a classic design where it's a cement box, 2 garages, and then they put the containers on top.
Yeah.
And to me, that seems like the ultimate design out here because you got a garage.
Yeah. So Giant has a similar idea. It's 2 shipping containers, going left to right, and then 2 on top going the opposite way. So 2 of them are cantilevered out for the master suite bedroom area, and then you have patio area underneath right there. Really cool design. I'll show you some pictures. And they got like 4 or 5 different models or designs of shipping container homes that are, pretty pre-stock. They have them. So.
Is that a cheaper route to go than, say, the one that you built that I liked on the hills?
Which one is that?
It's just kind of those ones that are up there that are the 5 that the guys...
the Cut homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Troy Kudlac.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the developer.
Is it cheaper than those?
Probably really close to the same for those.
Oh, so what do you think?
Right around the $300 a square foot range.
So what do you think would be a better way to go? A ground up place or a
Yeah, it just depends. If we were going to build that same shipping container house with a master bedroom suite, cantilevered out, it'd probably run about the same for a stick-built house to the shipping container house. I would say if you're building just slab on grade, one-story home, then stick-built's probably the most cost-effective way to go.
Yeah.
It just all depends on the design you want and how high off the ground you want to get.
Man, I'm telling you, I love your stuff, dude.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the Rock House.
Okay.
This is a fantastic home and probably my favorite. And that would be like really what I would want. The Rock home, how many square feet is that?
That one's 1,500.
1,500. A 2-bedroom?
Three bedroom, yeah, 2 bath.
No garage, right?
Yeah, no garage. We got a carport with a big storage area built into it, built out of block. Have all our security doors up on it. And
man.
Yeah, the architect on that one was Martin Buhner. He's local here in Joshua Tree. Does great architecture. Does a lot of high-end homes in the low desert as well. So, yeah.
How much was that home to build?
It was over $300 a square foot. I'd say 350-ish.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of block work involved and a lot of open exposed beams that you've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you said the block stuff I thought was cheaper, but it's more money, huh?
Yeah. You build a block wall for aesthetics, looks, or if you need it for retaining purposes. But this one was just aesthetic. And then on the inside of the wall, we have to frame it out with 2x4s and insulate it to get our R values, our energy requirements for the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, where's that located at?
The Taylor?
On
the rocks.
Yeah, where is that?
It's just right over the hill here, going east.
Oh, really?
Maybe a mile away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got to see that.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't been there in person?
No.
Okay.
I got to see that.
Yeah, we can run over there and take a look.
All right. I tell you what we do. We'll pause this, and we'll go take a look at a couple places, and then maybe we can pick it up. Like, are you going to show me one you're building right now?
Yeah. I can show you one I just got final inspection on last Thursday.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do another 20 minutes there, and we'll be good.
Okay.
Awesome, man.
Sounds great.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah, we'll take a walk through.
Okay, cool. All right, so now let's see. I'm with Andy, and we just went to a place he built called the Rock House.
On the rocks?
On the Rock.
Yeah, on the rocks.
On the Rocks.
Yeah, it's available on Airbnb.
It is hands down one of my favorite places I've seen in years.
Well, thank you.
It's unreal. It's okay. It's cinder. What is that? Cinder block?
Yeah, cinder block and exposed beams throughout.
It's on a long. What is it? A 1 mile dirt road?
Yeah, about 1 mile off the pavement from the entrance to the Joshua Tree National Park there.
Completely no man's land, and it looks like you're in Flintstone land. There's these humongous boulders. The pad's a 3-bedroom. It has a cool carport, and it's like it's like modern.
Yeah, more architectural and modern, yeah, but a lot of flavor added to it.
Did you do the insides also?
Yeah, complete house, turnkey ready when it was done. So
I mean, everything in there was phenomenal. So where do you find your ideas? Do you look at Dwell magazine and find inside stuff and then contact these people, or do the clients say, I'm looking for this kind of stuff? Where do you get that stuff?
Yeah, the clients come in with most of their ideas, what type of house they want, what type of finishes they're looking for inside, and then they work it out with the architect and myself. We talk about pricing for each finishes and see what's cost effective for them and what they ultimately want to see in the end.
So give me the price of that place.
That price is in the 600s.
With the land?
No, just for the build.
Just for the build?
Yeah.
And what is it on? Well, I know it was a 5-acre lot, but what is that actual part of the lot? Is it half an acre, a quarter acre?
Oh, yeah, the house is just on a quarter acre of it there, and the rest of it's boulders and, of course, the open land in front. So down to the old Homestead Cabin that was set there back in the 30s or 40s.
What are those Homestead Cabins? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the Homestead Cabins are when the government opened up the land out here. So if you came and homesteaded a land, built a cabin on it, they gave it to you for free. So,
really?
yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you could just start building these homestead cabins, and then you would just have, this is my land?
Yep.
And how, if you put a homestead cabin on it, was it a 1 acre lot they gave you, or as much as you want? How did they do that?
I believe they're all 5 acres or larger.
Oh,
so I know some of them are 20 acres. There are a lot of them you can see out the distance over there
Yeah.
across the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, just they're scattered throughout the desert here. So
Those guys scored.
yeah, they had the insight to what was going on. Came out here for the clean, fresh air.
Now, how do you get power and water out there? So we're off the okay. If you've ever gone to Joshua Tree, you guys know you take the long road up. I think it's Sage, or what road is that up into the park?
Park Avenue, towards
Park
the
Avenue.
Quail Springs Road.
Right. So
outside it.
you take Park Avenue in, and so that's a paved road, but off. There's tons of these dirt roads that go into the. You can see right here. We're looking at it. All these homes out there, and who puts the power, and how is it powered out there in water?
Joshua Tree Water Department up here. You know, they put in the water meters and such. Unless it's way out off with their lines, then we'll drill a well. You know, well, they usually cost about 30 grand. Water meters about 10 grand. So
What did the On the Rocks have? Does it have a
it has a water meter. Yeah.
water? Oh wow! So there's water out there.
Yeah, correct.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then Edison, you know, hooks up the power. To save money, we usually go with the pedestal meter right close to the property line, then run the power on
I
ourselves.
saw that green meter there.
Yeah, yeah. So saves time and money. Instead of waiting till the house is built and have the power hooked up, we already have power prior to hooking up, you know, and then have it final inspected and then turn the house on. So but
Wow.
we use the pedestal for temporary power during building.
And then propane, right?
Yeah, most of these houses out here are all in propane. They have gas lines in the town of Yucca, but that's about it.
Man, I'm kind of screwed now because I think On the Rocks is like, to me, the only way I can go.
Yeah.
But we're standing here now at another property you built. This thing is unreal, and it's right down the road from On the Rocks, and it's completely a different style. What style would you call this?
It's an architectural modern, raised up. They call it the blue sky system, where the houses are raised. So we're probably 3 to 4 feet off the ground right here. And then Homestead Modern modified it, you know, made it a hybrid. So I build quite a few of these out here. So.
And is it prefab?
No.
No.
The steel framework is prefabbed. It's shipped out here and bolted together, and then I take over and finish building all the walls and the whole 9 yards, plumbing, electric.
Wow. What is this? Is this plastic or metal?
That's metal.
Wow.
It's corrugated steel with a powder coating on it.
Do you think, I mean, the durability of this out here in the desert's got to be fantastic, right?
Yeah. We do all metal walls, exterior, soffits, and eaves, fascia. So everything's, you know, maintenance free. Come out here, hose it down, wash your windows, and you're done, you know. So no painting necessary, no scraping wood, nothing like that.
No painting.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then polished cement floors.
Yeah. We grind them and polish them to expose the aggregates. Comes out real nice.
How many square feet is this place?
This house is 1,500.
1,500 square feet, 2-bedroom, massive living room with a humongous deck. And then what do you think this lot costs?
I'm not sure. I believe it's a 2.5 acre lot. I usually don't get pricing on those, but
Yeah.
you know, market goes up and down here, so
Yeah.
hard to say what he actually paid for it or when he bought it.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
In comparison, I'm building a house over here. It's on 17 acres. You can see the orange tractor in the distance.
Let's see. Where's that? Oh, yeah. I see it
Straight
out there. That's you?
Yeah. So we just started that project today. It's going to be a 2,000 square foot house, big, tall, 20-foot sewing room tower on it. So nice architectural. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Now, how many pads are you in the process of building right now?
I have 6 going right now.
Whoa. Well,
One in La Quinta, one in Rancho Mirage, and one in Indian Wells.
wow.
And then several up in this area, you know.
If somebody was going to come out here and live, what do you think the best area is? Joshua Tree?
Yeah. Joshua Tree, small little town, hardly any crime, you know, so pretty safe little place to live here. You know, Yucca, a little bit more crime, but nothing compared to any cities or anything.
You were saying Desert Hot Springs, Crime City, huh?
Yeah, a lot of gangs and stuff down there, a lot of crime.
Wow.
Yeah, you get up in the hill here and, you know.
Ain't nobody coming
Mellows
out
out,
here.
yeah.
Who's coming out
Yeah,
here?
no traffic. Yeah, so.
I mean, you could skeet shoot out here, right?
Yeah, you hear
just
all-
like pull.
Yeah, you hear how quiet it is out there. I mean,
This is fantastic.
yeah.
Like, I never thought that I would be into being in no man's land. What type of wildlife? Yeah. What do we got out here? We got jackrabbits. We got snakes. We got bobcats or anything?
Yeah, we got bobcats and mountain lions in the larger mountains, hills, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of birds, quail, hawks, you know, get the buzzards out here. So, but see a lot of the jackrabbits and a lot of the lizards.
Dude, what's your place like? Did you build something cool?
No, I'm actually living in a rental house right now.
Oh.
So getting ready to build a house, yeah.
Yeah.
Recently went through a separation and she
Oh,
got
yeah.
the house, so.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh, I hate that
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, at least I can build another one pretty easily. So.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your new business you're doing in Joshua Tree, actually in the park. You're going to do things where you can set up tents for people and food and everything. They just go to the campsite and it's all set up.
Yeah, it's camping supply rentals, you know, so rent tents, chairs, whatever you want, ice chest, easy ups, and taking it a step further and going to offer to set up the campsites for the people. So they just pull up everything set up, beer and water in the ice chest, whatever food they would like is another ice chest, you know, all the cooking stoves, utensils, everything they would need to, you know, spend 3-4 days in the park and have a good time. So.
And what's the name of it?
It's Camp JT. So campjt.com. We'll have our website up here shortly, and
Wow.
pricing, everything will be on there and ready for reservations.
Did you have to talk to the park about that?
No, we're doing it independently with the clients. So
Yeah.
if someone wanted to stay up there, they'd rent their own campsite. We'd show up at the designated time, 11 o'clock, and set their campsite up, have it ready for them in an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And then when they check out, we'll go clean everything up and take it away.
Now, let's tell people your website where they can see.
And then, my website is homeandconstructionservices.com.
Yeah.
So.
And then Camping JT?
Camp JT.
CampJT.com.
Yep.
And if people want to get a hold of you, it was amazing. I immediately loved what you did. I found your cell phone number and I called you.
Yeah, I got my cell phone number right on my website. So anybody that wants to contact me about building a home or just needs information, feel free to call.
Dude, I feel like one day we're going to work together. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent.
I love what the hell you do. The On the Rocks house. I mean, look, the Invisible House is completely another level.
That's off the hook. Yeah.
It's another level, you know. But the On the Rocks house is just. And at first, I thought I really loved your the ones on that hill there. You know, what style would you call that?
Those are just architectural moderns.
Yeah, those are cool, man.
Yeah.
But after seeing On the Rocks, it's like there's something homey about inside there.
Yeah.
Like you're out in this crazy desert, but inside it's almost like you're in like almost a like Leave It to Beaver house in there, you know, at the sunken living room and just kind of the warm feel of it.
Yeah, that house is a lot warmer than just a straight, flat, white modern for sure.
Oh.
You know, all the exposed beams and soffits and put a lot of care and pride into that house. You know, a lot of little details there.
What was it, 1,200 square feet?
15?
15.
Yeah.
So if you just wanted to do 2-bedroom, it'd be way cheaper, right?
Yeah, that'd bring the price down.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it way down. I think 2-bedroom with a garage just like that, it's on.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Most people don't build garages out here.
I don't get that.
We do carports.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. Just
I mean, because it's brutal out here, the weather.
Most of them are vacation homes. They
Right.
don't have a lot to store. They're not keeping a lot of stuff here. So
To me, it's just about keeping your car nice.
yeah, correct. So a lot of people do carports. Some people don't. You
Yeah.
know, it's all their tastes and opinions.
I think when you live here, though, you've got to tap out and give in to the element. Like like at first, I was like, I don't want dirt road. Your car is just dirty forever.
Yeah. Definitely got to wash your car once a week.
Once a week. I mean, why even wash it? As soon as you drive home to the dirt road. I mean, we were a mile up on a dirt road. That was basically looked like something out of the Baja 1000.
Yeah.
Had some crazy like jumps and stuff.
Part wash, part road.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Now, before we get out of here, I know you got to go see a client real quick. You did another type of architecture flavor that I love is that kind of Spanish, kind of Santa Fe looking square ones. And you said you don't recommend those because they tend to, the water sits up on the roof, huh?
Yeah, well, the adobes, they have those where the stucco wraps around the top of the wall, you know, to give it that adobe look.
Yeah.
And those tend to crack over time, 5-10 years, and then tend to leak at the top there. So I try to stay away from those, or put metal caps on them, which takes away from the adobe look. But your house is waterproof; you don't have to worry about anything. So
Right. Well, I can't thank you enough, and let's stay in touch.
Okay.
We're coming out here like once a week, just getting the whole idea. And if you see a fantastic small lot in this area, with boulders and trees, let's figure this out.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, we'll start looking for you. Also started a real estate company.
Yeah.
JoshuaTreeHomesandLand.com. So
Now, you got your real estate license?
oh, my broker does.
Oh, your broker does?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, works for me. So yeah.
God, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we have an office located in Yucca Valley, so feel free to give us a call, and all our information's on our website as well. Links to the building website and the real estate website.
That reminds me, up behind that Travelodge in Yucca Valley, I drove up there, and there was some mid-centuries up there.
The Travelodge.
Yeah, on 62. That
Okay, in Yucca?
Yeah, and you turn up that street, and there's like an old country club up there and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And they had some. Now, here's what I was going to ask you. Do you know where any crazy just an old mid-century around in here is? Like,
Nah, but they do come in the market every once in a while. It's just watching that market close, checking it daily, and see what comes on the market.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So I know there's a lot of other people looking every day too, so you got to act quick. You got to be ready. Have
It's
everybody
crazy.
Ready to go look at it same day, and
Oh, yeah.
jump on it.
Yeah, some people are just buying from a Zoom video.
They are.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
my God. Well, congratulations, man. And I think you're in the right spot right now, man. With COVID and people wanting to move and get the fuck away from people,
Yeah.
and just being able to work at home, and a whole new, what they call the new norm. Places like Joshua Tree, even right now, it's 106 degrees out, and I don't feel crazy.
Yeah, in the shade, it's fairly nice.
In the shade,
a little bit of breeze, and yeah,
this is beautiful.
definitely doable.
It's really wild, man.
Yeah.
And also, I want to congratulate you on your insane bathroom designs, man. At that Invisible house and at this house right here. Just beautiful. And that, oh my God, the one at the On the Rocks house. That tile.
Yeah.
All that, man.
I'll give credit to the owner on that one. She picked out the tile on that, and
Wow.
yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Well, when we build one, we'll just rob all those ideas. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah,
man.
thank you very much.
Andy Canada, great name.
Yeah, thank you.
It's such a cool name. Whenever I say it, I go, Andy Canada. It almost sounds like something from like a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. I'm Andy Canada, king of the squirrel racers.
Yeah.
Are you a comedy fan?
I am, yeah.
Who do you like?
I like most of the old guys,
Yeah.
Steve Martin and stuff.
Yeah. How old are you?
53.
Oh, yeah, I'm 54.
Oh, really? Right on.
Right on. All right. Well,
60s babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you much for having me on, and
I
look
love
forward
it.
to working with you.
I love you, dude. I love it. All right, guys, go to his website to look at his homes and check out if you want to come out here. An Airbnb on the Rocks will absolutely knock you out. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. See ya.